Hello and welcome everybody to another Foundations draft. I'm Paulcheon and today we are sitting at rank number 193. We tried to draft a nice black-white life gain deck in the last video and we did okay. We had some interaction, but we were a little bit lacking in power. And I think part of that was probably just the fact that I didn't properly read the signals. So we're going to go back to the basics here. I've been trying to showcase a lot of the good archetypes that you can draft in this format, but let's just try our best to win in this draft. Now, before we head into this draft, I just wanted to say that this video is brought to you by tcgplayer.com. Check out tcgplayer.com for all your TCG singles and sealed product needs. Whether you need a booster box to do a local draft, or you need to pick up some cards to round out your commander deck, make sure you check out tcgplayer.com and make sure you click that affiliate link in the description below before making any purchases. Additionally, check out heavyplay.com for premium Magic the Gathering supplies and accessories. If you want top-of-the-line deck boxes, playmats, sleeves, dice boxes, and more, go to heavyplay.com/paulcheon for 10% off your first order. All right, ready up? Let's do this. Good drafting. Good drafting. I also kind of want to draft blue, but you know what? Good drafting. All right. Oh, yes. Yeah, I'm going to read this. Wow, I opened two good cards. Curator the Rising Tide and Curator of Destinies. I think Curator of Destinies is incredible. 6 mana for a 5/5 can't be countered flyer. ETB, at the minimum, draw 2 cards. This card is amazing. There's Curator the Rising Tide, which is also great. A Braid is solid. Fiendish Panda is a decent creature as well. And then at common, there's Banishing Light and Big Fin Bouncer as the 2 cards that stand out to me. But nothing comes close, I think, to the Curator of Destinies. A little bit unfortunate that we're passing 2 good blue cards here, but hey. Curator of Destinies is absolutely amazing. And, ooh, Rare is missing out of this pack, but I actually love Micromancer. Especially if you pair blue with red or black. With red, you have access to Burst Lightning, but in black specifically, you have access to the -2/-2 spell and Eaten Alive. And honestly, at common, there's nothing great at common. And at uncommon, there's just Meteor Golem as the only other option. So let's take the Micromancer here. Pretty happy with that. And make sure that we prioritize some 1-mana spells if we do get the opportunity to take them. Here, I think the best cards in the pack are Evolving Wilds, Uncharted Voyage, and Helpful Hunter. Helpful Hunter is, I think, technically the best card, although then that makes Micromancer worse because I have less 1-mana spells to take. Blue-White Skies is a pretty good archetype, but I think I'm just going to continue taking blue cards and look for a slightly better signal as to what my second color should be, because right now I just know for a fact that I want to be blue. And I do like the Uncharted Voyage. Noting that we are starting out pretty high on the mana curve here with what we have so far. So going to try to keep things on the cheaper end if possible. Here there is a Heroic Reinforcements, which could be a sign that red-white is open. But there's just no way that with this start that I want to move off of this and pivot entirely into red-white. Although red-white is pretty decent. There's a Strix Lookout or Involving Wilds in here. And I think the Lookout is largely replaceable and easy enough to get. I'm going to take the Evolving Wilds here to allow us to figure out what our second color could be. I thought the Uncharted Voyage was enough better, but I don't think the Strix Lookout is enough better for me to not take the Evolving Wilds there. Now we have this pack, which has, man, welcome to Core Set. You just get so many packs where you're just like, what do I do? I'm not a big Shiv and Dragon fan, honestly, actually. There's a lot of good removal in this format, and just a 6-mana 5/5 that enters the battle and does nothing is just not something I'm interested in. In fact, I'm just going to take another Uncharted Voyage here, noting that now my curve is quite high, and I do need to try to focus on some cheap cards if I can find them, but I'm just not seeing them right now. That is the issue. There's a Meteor Golem I can take, and that's it. A Bushwhack, I guess, if I want to go blue-green. You know what? Yeah, I'm not seeing just that much red or black. Meteor Golem's okay, but my curve is high. I will speculate. I mean, I see a Needletooth pack and a Bushwhack. I haven't gone blue-green before, but one note is that Bushwhack does cost 1 mana here for the Micromancer, so that could be really interesting if green does end up being open. Obviously, with this kind of start, I want to lean control, but of course, if all the black and red cards are being taken, I'm not averse to just taking some green cards here if it seems open. Here, there's a Plunderer. This is another somewhat weak pack. not a big fan of Burnished Heart. I don't like the double white on Dauntless Veteran unless I'm a heavy white aggressive strategy. I might just take the Ranger here to just keep taking green cards if that ends up where we need to be. This pack is also quite weak. Jeez, every pack just sucks. Is this just common? I don't think I like Runaway Together very much. There's Macabre Waltz if I do end up in maybe a blue-black control deck. There's no green card I want. There's an Incinerating Blast, which is a mediocre removal spell versus a mediocre recursion spell. I guess I'll take a mediocre recursion spell, but not happy about taking that, I will say. Here, I'll just take a Dwinnen's Elite as just a cheap play. Actually, no, I'm going to take Snakeskin Veil. I'm going to take Snakeskin Veil. Right now, we don't have a million creatures just yet, but it does give us an additional card to fetch with the Micromancer if green does end up being the color that we want to be. Noting that we are still having kind of difficulty finding out what our second color should be. Don't really like Midnight's deck. I guess I'll take the Gorehorn Raider, but certainly doesn't feel like a great Gorehorn Raider deck. Treetop Snare Spinner is fine if I do try to draft a slower blue-green controlling deck. It's just a really good blocker. So why don't we take that? Certainly could use some Llanowar Elves here. And I do recognize the fact that blue-green is not the best color combination, but I just don't really know where I was supposed to be here, to be honest. I'm just going to take a rare out of that pack. This card's actually pretty good in Red-Black Sacrifice, but I just didn't see too many cards that kind of pulled me into a direction. It's just so, like I said, this is kind of tough. Here we have Scrawling Crawler. I actually want to try this card out. It's a 3-drop. It's better if you're a little more proactive, but if you play this, I was wrong about this card. It's not a Howling Mine effect in the sense that you draw the card, you're the one who starts with drawing the card, so you take advantage of the extra card first, and this is a claw. It just deals damage to them. So I'm going to try the Crawler here. It also works well with maybe some draw 2 effects, if I can pick that up later. Burst Lightning is also great, but we saw no indication that red was open. Granted, at common, the only red common I like is Burst Lightning, but let's take the Crawler here and try that out. Because we will know for sure that it's a card that we want in our deck. I just want green cards. Is that too much to ask? I just want green cards. Or blue cards. I mean, there's a Kraken, but here's the question. Do I take Muldrotha? There's also Baked into a Pie, but I didn't really see black being open either. So I can take the Kraken as it's a safer pick. You know what? I'm just going to stay on color. All right, we have the top end of our mana curve covered now. Okay, it is completely covered. Where are my Llanowar Elves? Where are my Llanowar Elves? Where are my Wary Thespians? I just need 1s and 2s that I want to play. That's a 2, but I don't have any other zombies. There's a Lightshell Duo. There's an Aegis Turtle. I mean, God, these packs. Do I take a Lightshell Duo? I don't need the Ceratops. I guess I'll take a Duo. I just can't find a cheap card to save my life. All right, I'll take a good interactive spell here in Felling Blow. It's a really good bite effect. Yeah, I just keep, is this normal? Look at this. The Buccaneer is the best card in this pack. There's a Stab here. There's a blue-green land as well. But what I really want is just cheap creatures. There you go. Look. And that's the thing. It's not even like this card's great, but I just need cheap things to do. And now we're, of course, seeing a bunch of black in pack 2. But that's because we didn't pass black in pack number 1. So let's just take the Wary Thespian here. Refute's also fine, but I just need cheap creatures to play, I think, at this point. So let's take that here. I don't need the Icewind Elemental. I'll take the Ink Mage. I'm not the biggest fan of the Ink Mage in general, but I'll certainly play it if I absolutely have to. Here, I'm just going to take Dwinnen's Elite just as a 2-mana play. I don't feel like I don't have enough spells here to warrant playing the Tolarian Terror, and I have enough expensive things where I don't want the Needletooth pack, so I'll take the Dwinnen's Elite. It's a Grizzly Bear that every now and then will make me an elf, which at this point is completely fine. I don't think I'm going to ever play Runaway Together. Gleaming Barrier, is that what we're going to play? Not really a Blanchwood Armor deck. Yeah, I don't know. Just feel like I've had a fair number of drafts that kind of play out like this, where I don't know. Everything just seems underwhelming. Okay, here there's a Spectral Sailor, which is fine. It's good with some of my raid creatures. It gives me something to do in the late game just to draw cards. I guess I'll take that over Refute. I think Refute's easier to pick up, and this is technically something I can play early, although it's not the best, but it's fine. Here I will take another Bushwhack over more expensive, ridiculous expensive cards here. Something I can fetch with them. With 2 Bushwhacks, I can probably go down to 16 lands. I think I'm happy enough doing that. And I do have, it's nice to have 3 targets here to get with the Micromancer. Although I do need big creatures for the Micromancer to be good. Oh, jeez. Solemn Simulacrum or Llanowar Elves? You know, it's got to be Llanowar. I love Solemn, but my deck is so clunky. Look at this deck. 2 6s, 5 4s. I need Llanowar Elves so badly in this deck. I'm going to take it here. And this one hurts. I am happy that I picked up the Llanowar Elves, but that one obviously hurts. But I do firmly believe that this is the correct pick. Abyssal Harvester is phenomenal. I think people just don't read this card. They just don't recognize how good this card is. This card's amazing. 3 mana for a 3/2. Whenever any creature goes in the graveyard, you just get a free token. It's great. But for us, we will take Evolving Wilds. So our mana fixing is not bad. Double Bushwhack, double Evolving Wilds. So honestly, we could have possibly taken that Muldrotha. Here I will take another Beastkin Ranger just to have more creatures to play somewhat early. And now we have the choice between Snakeskin Veil number 2, which I'm less thrilled about. There is a Stab, which I can potentially splash, but doesn't seem like a thing worthy of a splash. I think I'm just taking another Snare Spinner. It is good with the Bushwhacks and the Felling Blows. So let's go ahead and take that. Let's take a Witness Protection. I'm actually really light on interaction. So this is kind of a necessary evil because we're a blue-green deck. I'll play the Refute, actually. I actually don't mind this card. There's so many bombs in this format. It's not terrible to have a card like Refute in your deck. I don't think I ever want to play Rogue's Passage, but I guess I'm never really splashing the Soul Caller. Maybe if my mana is good enough, I can make the case for splashing it, but getting a bunch of lands here, but nothing that I actually want to splash for. All right, blue-green mediums. It was what was available, I think. Black was medium open. Black's pretty deep. But let's take a look here and see what we go with here. I wonder if this is a Rogue's Passage deck. Maybe, maybe not. Let's take a look. I mean, I think I'm just going to cut the barrier and just kind of hope. Just kind of hope for the best here. And yeah, this is certainly not a Rogue's Passage deck. I just want to play more forests. I just want to over-index on green sources because I have Llanowar Elves and double Bushwhack. And so by being able to play an untapped green source on turn 1, that makes sure that I can play my green spells turn 1. This still gives us access to 8 blue sources. And with double Bushwhack, that's up to 10 blue sources. So I think that's going to be more than enough here. I think I'm just going to have to play this Ink Mage. I don't really have a better option. And I think I got to play the Lightshell Duo here as well. This is 16 lands, and I'm okay with all of these spells. Needletooth Pack, I probably don't need, but take a look at my sideboard. I'm not really going to play an Offer You Can't Refuse. I don't really want to play a Gleaming Barrier in this type of deck. There's a Broken Wings, but I think that's mostly a sideboard card. And then there's also the Amulet, but I'm not really... You can only activate the Sacrifice at sorcery speed, which is kind of underwhelming. So this is it. Blue-green. We do have the Curator of Destinies, and we do have some power here and some mana sinks, and picking up the Llanowar Elves was pretty nice. So we have some card draw as well with the Spectral Sailor. So hopefully this is good enough to get it done for us. But hey, at least I got to showcase another new archetype here in blue-green. Anyways, before we head into round number 1, I just wanted to say that if you've been enjoying this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, the best way to do so is through my Patreon channel. That is patreon.com/paulcheon. Access to the Patreon will get you access to my Discord channel, along with a variety of other benefits depending on the membership tier. Shout out to all the patrons. Thank you so much for your support, as I really do appreciate it. It really does go a long way to allow me to continue making this daily draft content for all of you. Access to the Patreon with the Discord. I try to stay as active as possible on that Discord. We have post your draft logs, what's the picks, trophy decks. There's even a channel for bad beats, and it's been pretty popular recently. Let's just say. All right, opponent on the play here. Oof. Think I'm gonna keep this. I have 2 lands on the draw, but I do have lots of mana sources, and I do have this witness protection in case my opponent plays something a little too strong. But a deck with 16 lands, double Bushwhack, and Llanowar Elves. Pretty good on mana fixing, I want to say. Yeah, let's... our opponent's off to an aggressive start, so let's shrink down the legitimate business person. It is kind of funny how much worse this card is than Unable to Scream. They're so similar, but the 1/1 versus 0/2 is so big. Do I just jam this card? Or do I just play this and Surveil? I kind of just want to play this and Surveil for now. Like, I don't care if they kill this. And I don't want to give them extra gas. Oh my... What is this? Do I have to put my Curator of Destinies in the graveyard? That is gross. That's rough. I think it's correct. Look at my hand. But that feels really bad. Would be nice to have a recursion effect. With all the fixing that I have, I really wish I had the Muldrotha over the 6 mana 5/6. But I didn't know what my mana fixing was going to end up looking like, so, you know, kind of it is what it is. Alright, well, we found a land here, which is nice. Let's play the Snare Spinner here. Great blocker with what they have in play. You can't do any... You got 2 mana. I guess you can bite down my Ink Mage. But, you know... I know these are a bunch of nice cards, especially the Curator, but you can't fall behind in Magic. We have other ways to draw cards. This is okay. I still want to just keep drawing lands here. I think I will take 3 from the Thespian here, just because I have the Needletooth Pack and the Buccaneer. Because if I draw an island or a forest, this is not looking too bad for us. Sadly, we did not. Let's play the Lightshell Duo. Still a good blocker to the Thespian. I really want a land. I just want specifically 1 land. I won't get too greedy. I would like an island as well for the Buccaneer, but just making sure that I have a land here for the Needletooth Pack seems pretty nice. And I'm not attacking with the Ink Mage here because there's a pretty good shot that they have an interactive spell for the duo. And if they do, I want to be able to block the 1/1s. Tolarian Terror is pretty nice. It's very nice, actually. Okay. I mean, I like playing this as a trick, but I think I just have to play it out. It's just the best use of the mana that I have available. It looks like some kind of bite spell, maybe. This is an interesting attack. I just do this. And I can't really see anything too badly happening here. Like Giant Growth. Yeah, that's fine. They need to have 2 spells. Like, what are the chances they have 2 spells? Okay. Well, you know, like... I mean, this is kind of how the last couple days have been going, where it's just like... I mean, where you just kind of question everything. You're like, oh, how bad can this be? And then, well, it's extremely bad. Like, that's gross, right? Like, they had Bite Down plus Giant Growth. I'm likely not beating that combination anyways. And look, they have a 3rd spell here. Yeah, it's just very silly. I mean, they had a solid draw. It's just we... Yeah. All right, GG's. GG's. Felt like they had a pretty solid blue-green deck. Lots of interaction, tricks, etc. Okay, well, hopefully this game goes a little better than that one. I mean, we'll note that we don't have a lot of cheap things to play, but... This is awkward. I have the Dwinnen's Elite and the Beastkin Ranger. I hope I can draw something that's not Dwinnen's Elite, but like I said, I don't have very much. I'm gonna go blue because we have a double blue spell in our deck. Yeah, I mean, as much as I want the 1/1, I think it's just important to try and curve out here. Grizzly Bear is totally fine card to play. They're debating whether or not they want to trade here, I guess. Basically, my game plan is just play things and then get to my 6-drop creature, right? That's kind of the hope. See what they have here. A Bite spell obviously would be very good against the Snare Spinner. I'm okay with this. Obviously happy blocking the Immolator with my Snare Spinner. Sure Strike would be like the only card I'd be somewhat concerned about, but if they have Sure Strike, they're not playing a 4-drop, so it's not that big of a deal anyways. 4 mana up and they pass. Let's play the Thespian here. See what we like. Basically bidding any land. I will certainly keep that. The question now becomes whether or not I just want to put a counter on something with the Snare Spinner. Yeah, let's put one on the Elite. But I will pass with them having 4 mana up. Like I said, if they have Sure Strike... Okay. My creature has Death Touch. What? Okay. Yep, this is fine. Buccaneer is great. Play the land. Because if we draw land number 7, we can go Ink Mage plus Uncharted Voyage. Okay. Ooh. Let's kill the token. Let's bin the Llanowar Elves and attack for 4 in the air. Like... This obviously gives them an opportunity to play something big here, like a Shivan Dragon, and now I regret everything. But I felt like I wanted to go for the tempo play there, and we drew the perfect card. Oh my gosh. You are now a citizen. And then let's play the Ink Mage. This will also be unblockable, which is pretty great. Wow. I don't even know what to do here. They're all amazing. I guess I'll put that in the graveyard just to make sure that I have Threshold. Because the Crawler also deals a bunch of damage. Oh, okay. Unblockable, right? Okay, good. So let's play the Crawler, and then we'll pass. This gives us kind of an opportunity to find something for this flyer. All right! We won a game. Dragon Trainer is very strong, especially if there are ways to flicker it. I don't think there's too many, but just 5 mana for 1/1 that makes a 4/4 flyer is really, really nice. Okay, 1-1. Okay, opponent on the play. A bit of a slow hand, but hey, we have a bit of a slow deck. And like I said, for the most part, try to prioritize taking cheap things when I saw them. So this is just all I saw. Maybe that's an issue with blue-green. Maybe you just don't have enough things to play. Like, blue doesn't have a lot of things to play early. You know what's weird? Blue usually has like a 2-mana 3/3 that attacks when you do something. You know, if you draw an extra card, it can attack. Something along those lines. Doesn't have that this time around. It's kind of odd. Evolving Wilds is pretty nice with the Kraken. I do have 2 of these. Let's get a second green because I already have the second blue. Dreadwing Scavenger is incredible. They discarded a Gutless Plunderer. Yeah, Scavenger is really good. And we are in for a nice old-fashioned control matchup. They went deep, though. They're playing Esper. They are playing Esper. Let's attack. And I will be leaning on these Snare Spinners to block the Scavengers. I think the Snare Spinner is just... If you have a slowish deck, it's really solid. There's just a lot of good flyers in this format, and it gives you something to do in the late game. I'm not saying you should take it super highly, but I like it a reasonable amount. Now, obviously, if you're red-green beats, that's not what you want. Okay, you know what? The Vanguard Seraph on the splash, I'm going to say, a little bit dicey. A little bit dicey. All right, let's just play another snare. Like, how can they get through my Snare Spinners? Like, even if they have one removal spell, it's like, okay. Just need to find more lands here now. Whoa. And I will block. I'm sure something crazy is about to happen. No shot they did that. What? They just threw away a Scavenger? Oh, when this dies, it comes... That is... I guess that's something you can choose to do. With 2 6-drops, like as good as fighting something is, I think it's better to get a land still. Which is kind of crazy, right? And then I'm just going to pass here. Because I have the Uncharted Voyage up with the Snare Spinner and the ability to draw a card off the Sailor. What does this do? Should I have taken this card? Creatures of the chosen color get +1/+0. Okay. Are they going to choose white? Okay. That's fair. Let's draw a card. Wow, no lands? Huh. So they can sack the panda. Okay, no attacks. Alright, I'm going to pass again. I'm going to take 4 from the panda, I think. They could have attacked last turn with it. Oh, they're just choosing not to? Alright, I'm going to just keep drawing cards then. I really want to draw land number 6, but my deck is just not cooperating. Okay. Now what? I'm kind of in the market to just run out a bunch of things. I don't want to play out the Curator of Destinies just yet. I don't think. Because it's gonna make me discard. So let's just add just some random dinky creatures into play. And I am just happy for any lands here. Yeah, we'll keep that. And I'm going to pass. I want to use one of these voyages. See what they do. I'm going to bounce actually the Hungry Ghoul to see what they do. They might just throw it away, which is also fine for me. But they don't have the sacrifice on demand, which I like. Okay. Now we play the flyer. I should not play the land, though. Yeah, I should not have played the land. Oh, well. I don't think they want to give me Snakeskin Veil, and honestly, me getting 3 lands with this board seems awesome, so I'll take that. Being able to go Kraken, Evolving Wilds, and stun 2 things seems incredible. But also, them giving me Snake... That's... okay. Sure. How are you ever beating this Curator of Destinies now? Right? It's like, what do you... okay. I guess they just didn't want to give me 3 cards. Don't really want to play the Crawler right now because it seems like they're out of resources, and that's kind of the way that they'll come back here. Like, when it's relatively even, I don't mind, but right now we're pretty firmly ahead. Macabre Waltz, Dreadwing Scavenger. Okay, this is going to have Death Touch, I think. Now that they have 7 cards in Graveyard. And a Sage, sure. Alright, to the skies. That is the plan here. Okay. Thank you. I'm sure that was a very genuine nice. I think they really appreciated my good play. I really do. All right, Vanguard Seraph from the opponent into... lots of options here. Let's bounce this. I'll keep that. Let's attack for 6. And then let's play the Crawler here, only because now that they're at 6, every point of damage seems important. Yep. Oh, this... did I not... oh, I didn't play a land last turn. Okay. I see. Alright, they're at 4 life. That's dead. Alright. And they are dead. Most likely. Okay. That was not especially difficult. Okay. Got that one done. I mean, the late game power of our deck is undeniable. It's just when we run into the other aggressive strategies where we might definitely struggle just a little bit. Okay, 2 and 1. I just need to draw Llanowar Elves every game. That's kind of what I need. I have a 2-drop here. I do have some expensive cards. But like I said, my curve is high, so can't really just mulligan when I have a 2-drop. One of my few 2-drops. Definitely blocking the Siphoner here. I would love to draw a counter spell, any 3-drop, just anything, right? Would be happy with anything. Infernal Vessel, sure. Okay, so that is a Bushwhack, but I can't kill anything with the Bushwhack. Oh, I should have played an island to represent a counter spell. Oh well. I'm going to keep the Bushwhack in my hand in case I draw a million lands. Alright. I'm not going to waste Snakeskin Veil when they have 4 mana available. I don't think. Okay, at least they're not beating me down too badly. So this might seem kind of weird. But the idea here is that I want to play the Snare Spinner with Uncharted Voyage up. Although, well, that changes things, because now I have Snakeskin Veil. Ah, that sucks. So I can save it with Snakeskin Veil, which gives me decent blocks. Yeah, I probably should. It just forces them to use another removal spell. It's really awkward on my mana. But the thing is, next turn I can also just go Treetop Snare Spinner plus Bushwhack. I don't think I want that trade. Oof. Alright, let's play the Snare Spinner. And what do I want to kill? I mean, I could have killed Cathar Commando as well. That was the other option. Currently, my Dwinnen's Elite does a pretty good job of getting in front of everything. Ah, okay. Fair enough. That's actually not bad. I'll just block here. Land. Great. Okay. Getting back into this game. Oof. What 3 cards? So I want to reveal... Like, let's split this. Let's see. Something like this. I think Felling Blow Crawler is quite nice here. Although the Lightshell Duo is really well positioned. Or sized. Something like this. Maybe like this. Okay. They might just give me 2 cards. But Lightshell Duo, okay. That's also fine, right? Curator of Destinies is a hard Magic the Gathering card to play with, I will say. But hopefully this is good. I do have the refute for following turns. It looks like they have a removal spell here. What do they draw? Oh, Eaten Alive. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Interesting that they went with that and not the Infestation Sage. I guess they wanted a 4-3 in play. Okay. The Vessel is kind of annoying. All right. And yeah, let's just play this. Like, I still need to play to the board, and this seems like a good opportunity. If they play a decent permanent here, I can still bounce it with the Charted Voyage. All right, nice. So why don't we go ahead and play the pack and just pass? I guess we can attack with this. Try to get their life total lower. Oh, it could be the Banshee? No, Tiny Bones. Whenever an opponent discards a card. Okay. I mean, that card is just so incredibly slow. Doesn't really matter. Alrighty. What do I want to do? 4, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Okay. Let's play that. Spin that. Let's put a counter on this. I'm going to keep the Evolving Wilds in my hand for the Tiny Bones. If that's kind of their game plan. The hell is this? I think it's that 5-drop. Yeah, okay. Oh, this is really bad with Tiny Bones. That's funny. Okay. Yeah, that is really funny with Tiny Bones. They're at 10 life. This doesn't seem bad. Just very aggressive. We're at 13. They have to make some blocks here to survive. If anything dies, I mean, certainly the Needletooth Pack's not going to die. So then I can pump my Spectral Sailor and keep up the Uncharted Voyage. If they make some weird double block, I can just use the Uncharted Voyage. That's fine. That is also fine. Surveil. Don't need the island. We have 11 cards left, so we got to be a little bit careful. I'm going to not overextend here. They're at 5 life. They could have a Wrath. And I just want to be able to draw a card off the Sailor. And if they activate Tiny Bones, they just die. So, seems pretty good, but they have a lot of cards in hand. They have a lot to work with, so not out of the woods just yet. That is totally fine. That gets back a 2-drop, so maybe like a Burglar Rat or something. No, Cathar... Oh! Yeah, okay. That kills the Crawler. Sure. They can't do anything else. We'll draw a card. Put counter on this. Counter on this. Attack. Okay. Getting some nice value. You know, one thing we're not short on. Mana Sinks. Double Snare Spinner. Spectral Sailor. With a bunch of ways to get lands. So, happy enough with this configuration, and of course, Curator being absolutely amazing. 3-1. All right, opponent on the play. Oof. Like no 2 or 3? 5 lands? I mean, I guess this isn't really a land. All right, I'm going to mulligan that one. All right, I got a 2-drop. This is definitely a better hand. It's not great, but it just has things to do on the first 3 turns of the game, which is important. I mean, we're playing against a Boros deck here too, so... Ooh. By playing the Thespian, it gives me the chance of finding an elf for Dwinen's Elite. You know, that's actually not terrible. This is basically like a 1-mana 2/2 that I'm keeping. Now, obviously, if they have a shock, this doesn't work. But I don't think they do. All right. The Felidar? Yeah. Still not that great. I mean, it's good, obviously, but... This is interesting. This Bushwhack is super interesting because I have the Kraken here, but I think I can just wait. Because if I just naturally draw a land, I can Kraken, and then I can just use the Bushwhack to kill something. If I don't find a land next turn, I might just use the Bushwhack to pump something. Or to get my land. Ay. Okay, I mean, the thing is, I don't really feel like bouncing the Savior. I guess we'll bounce the Pridemate. It's just a good use of our mana here, so let's just do it. That is an elf. Is it on a shelf? I think I'd rather draw a land than that. Okay. I mean, similar situation. We can just pass and keep up the Uncharted Voyage. All right. Let's get a land. Now that we have the backup Bushwhack. I mean, obviously, stalemate situations are very, very good for us. What do we have as 1-mana cards? We have 2 Bushwhacks and something else. Why can't I think of it? Oh, a Snakeskin Veil. This is kind of interesting. What do I want to reveal? Micromancer is a good one to try to get. All right. They don't want to give me the 3 cards. I mean, that's totally reasonable. I'm going to hold the Micromancer here because I have the Kraken. Or, excuse me. I'm going to hold the land here because I have the Kraken. Sure. Vanishing Light. Certainly good. They do have a bunch of cards in hand. I mean, Staler would have been really good. I don't know. Yeah, the problem is, with Boros, like, I understand the concession there. If you don't get off to a good start, like, how are you going to beat me in the late game when I'm at 20 life? And I'm the blue-green deck. Like, the only thing the blue-green wants to do is get to the late game and dump all its mana into all of its mana sinks. So, I totally get that. All right, we are... Oh my gosh! We have a Llanowar Elf. A Llanowar Elf sighting here, friends. Very, very happy with that. Turn 1 Llanowar. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. This thing can't really... I'm going to just play the Beast Ranger. What the heck? Alright. I mean, that's just like such a random... Like, that's a... I have a Sure Strike attack, right? That is, I 100% have Sure Strike. This is going to be a ships passing in the night type situation. Okay. I think I like my position here, though. I actually love my position here. With the crawler as well. I have the 1/1 to block Kellen. And I get in for 6 this turn. Whew. And I have Kraken as a follow-up, potentially. They take 1. And we're the one that has access to a lot of mana. So... okay, sure. Good job. Okay. So now they're going to keep up Sure Strike on the defense, on the defensive, but, you know, hopefully we draw a relevant spell here. Yeah, I mean, I know they likely have Sure Strike here, but I'm still going to attack because I have the Buccaneer. Oh my gosh, that's gross. Well, at least we held a land in our hand. Whew. That's gross. Okay. So it was fake your own death. That's what they had. That was the trick. All right, they're at 5. Crawler doing... so here, put it this way. Crawler has dealt 3 damage already. Okay? It's already dealt 3 damage. What more can you ask for? I have a 4/3 flyer that they need to answer. I have a crawler that they need to answer. I have a big life advantage. All right. Llanowar Elf, busted. But just give me all the elves. Give me all the elves. It's so good in decks like this in particular, where I can really take advantage of the mana. I like it a little bit less. Let's say I'm playing like a green-white deck. It's obviously always solid, but I found that when I draft maybe green-white, or sometimes even green-red, but more so green-white, you just kind of run out of things to do with your mana. So the Llanowar Elves is not as great. Whereas in this deck, it is absurd. Like Llanowar Elves in this deck, I would play 4 of them. Okay, we are on the play. We have a 6-drop, a Beast... oof, this hand is not great. I'm going to mulligan that hand. Oh, it's got a Llanowar Elf! Let's keep this. What do we bottom? I want to be able to play a turn 2 crawler. It might actually be Evolving Wilds, which is kind of weird. Having the Snakeskin Veil also seems pretty useful. Although I guess I can just get it with the Micromancer later. So yeah, let's just get rid of Snakeskin Veil. The thing is, if they kill my elf, then I'm going to really want these Evolving Wilds. Am I on the draw? Damn, I thought I was on the play. Oh, I am on the play, okay. No burst of lightning here. We're going for the high upside play. If they had a burst lightning, they would have killed my Llanowar Elves. So if they want to kill the crawler, they're going to need to play like in a braid, right? So, yep, nope, this is good for us. Draw an extra card. We have Bushwhack available, which gets us an island. But I think I'm just going to hold it. Let's play Dwinnen's Elite and get an island here with the Evolving Wilds. Actually, let's go just get another island. Yeah. I had the Refute as well. So I'm just going to do this just to use my mana the best way possible. We've developed quite a good board here. And I don't really have any good creatures for the Bushwhack anyways, but I think next turn, being able to go Micromancer and get that Snakeskin Veil is pretty useful. Now, if they kill my Scrawling Crawler, I might just get a Bushwhack to have my Micromancer kill the Cavalry. If they kill my Crawler this turn. What do you got? Played nothing? All right. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to attack with Dwinnen's Elite. Keep this back. You kind of want to keep your life total pretty high, so... Goblin Surprise. I don't care about that. My question is, do I even care about Refute, or do I just want to have a good board? You know what I mean? Yeah, I think I just want to do that. Let's just go ahead. The question is, do I want Bushwhack or Snakeskin Veil? I'm going to get the Bushwhack. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, I just don't need to cast the Bushwhack this turn. I can wait. And I want to play out the Spectral Sailor just to get in for more chip damage in the skies, get them pretty low, and have the Crawler be kind of threatening. And then by being able to play the Sailor this turn and keep up Refute plus Bushwhack, that seems quite strong. And they're kind of forced to just play things out. Oh, you know what? That's actually really nice with the... That's actually really nice with the Scrawling Crawler that's in play. But we, of course, have the Bushwhack. And they're just taking a bunch of damage here. Alright, so let's play a land here. Bushwhack. Let's kill the Clinquant. It's fine. That means that Crawler can attack next turn. And I'm just going to pass here. At this point, just keeping up Refute seems like it's the best thing to do, while also being able to cast Spectral Sailor. Dragon Trainer. Yeah, that seems worthy of a counterspell. Don't need the Evolving Wilds. They're at 11. This is a... Oh my gosh. Alright, they're at 5, and we're going to play this. Jesus. I just went off of instinct on that one. We hit 4 spells, so it doesn't really matter. And in unblockable creature seems like it's very problematic. So I don't think they want to deal with that, but we obviously got a really good pile still, regardless. Like, how are they going to come back from this? They can't even play the Chandra. They can't play Chandra. There's Slag Storm, but that only deals 3 damage to everything. Niv Mizzet doesn't get it done. Alright. Oh, there's just so many ways to do this. Alright. Easy peasy. Alright, we are doing well here. Llanowar Elves, obviously very, very strong. Anytime I have a hand with Llanowar Elves, I feel like my win rate, my chance to win the game goes up by like 10%. Okay, we are 6-1 with Simic. Can we get a trophy? Alright, playing for the... Hey, we got the Llanowar Elf. Now, I don't have blue sources, so that can be a concern, but I just feel like I gotta keep any hand with the Llanowar Elf, especially on the draw. We find a blue source, that would be great. I am not attacking into Cathar Commando. Okay. Give me a play here. I would like to play a... You know what? You know what? This just always... Alright, you know what? I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop. But this happens way more often to me when I'm on that 6 win. Like, so just... I feel like something horrible happens when I have 6 wins. Alright, well, our opponent... No, didn't miss a land drop. They're just one of those second main phase land folk. Yeah, you know what I mean? I keep that hand. 3 lands, Llanowar Elf on the draw? Absolutely keep that hand. But we went 3 blue cards in a row. No. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We drew 3 blue cards and a non-playable card. What am I supposed to do? Do I have another cheap thing to play? I don't know. Yeah, okay. I mean, granted, if I had a decent draw, I don't know that I'm beating this hand anyways. So good beats, but obviously, whatever. Non-game, that's behind us. It happens to everybody, okay? It happens to me, it happens to you. It happens all roughly at about the same rate. All right. This hand has magic cards I can cast. I do love to see that. So always the question, right? It's like, do I cast the Bushwhack? I'm gonna wait. Like 1 land is all I need. Yeah, there you go. Because the plan is, the thing is, I can go Felling Blow into Bushwhack, right? Which is pretty nice. Ugh, not Felling Blowing that. Oh my gosh, that was amazing. Obviously, not the best sequence, but being able to find a 3-mana play. See, I don't ask for a lot. It's just like, I just want to draw a 2-drop and a 3-drop. Then I'll be happy. Whatever happens afterwards, what happens? This doesn't seem very good. I'll keep the Sailor, though. Light Shell Duo plus all these fight/bite effects seems very nice. Looks like they're trying to go to the late game with that trade. But hey, so are we. So are we. Kind of want to run this out when I have 5 lands in play, but I just feel like I want this card. If the game goes anywhere remotely close to long. Them keeping up the 1 green is a little bit dicey, but I don't think they're going to block, so it's good. I mean, getting Bushwhack seems kind of like the logical thing to do here. But if they keep keeping up giant growth mana, it's kind of awkward, right? I can try to lead things off with a Felling Blow first, where if they go giant growth, then I can kill it with the Bushwhack. So that's also on the table. But we are the aggressors. Eager Truffle Snout, okay. I don't really care about this. It's just like they just like completely pass priority, so I don't know. Okay. I expected that turn to go a lot worse, but now I'm happy. They're never going to see Bushwhack number 2. Okay, just Dwinnen's Elite. I'm okay with that. We can just safely attack and hold on to the Bushwhack. They can have the kill target tapped creature, which it looks like that's what they have. Stroke of Midnight. Oof. You know, I'm going to just keep saying it until people stop doing it. Do not play that card, folks. It is not a good card. I guess if you absolutely need to have a card to kill a bomb or something, you can play it, but... Alright, this is one of the best rares in the entire set. So, good beats, if you will. It was looking very good for us. Do we have a pump spell or something? Oh, wow. We, like, super whiffed. So we can get them down to 2. Do I go after the Vivian or do I go after them? Oh, gosh, this is such a nightmare situation. I don't want them to be able to kill the Spectral Sailor, that's the thing. Alright, let's just go for Vivian. Let's play for the longer game. Let's see what they can find here. They're probably just going to play the Guarded Air. But we'll see. Are you kidding? They went Day of Judgment into... They went Vivian Reed into Day of Judgment. That's outrageous. Like, I don't think I can win now. That's so crazy. I guess I'll draw a card. Wow. Unreal. Okay. I mean, look, that's the thing. Wraths are very good. They played 2 of the better rares in the entire set in back-to-back games. They're playing a slightly more controlling game. So, we have a good rare as well. Hopefully we draw ours. But Vivian with 3 activations means it's going to be extremely difficult for us to be able to take this one down. Really, really hard. Just play your 6-drop. This makes 7 power and 7 toughness worth of stats. I guess if they have a way to kill the Needletooth. That'll do. I'm gonna pay 7 life. Alright, obviously they're gonna put it on top. We'll bin that. Okay. Okay. Wait a second. Oh, I need to kill this because otherwise they can kill the crawler. Okay.
Doesn't mean I'm giving up.
I'm gonna keep this land in my hand because I have the serpent. Okay. All right. Now we need to draw something badly. Okay. Okay, we failed. Does it have trample too? Oh my gosh. What am I supposed to do? What am I supposed to do? They played Sire of 7 Deaths, Vivian Reed, and Day of Judgment. You know, if there's a way to go out, I guess this is the way. You know what I mean? I guess this is the way. Unfortunate. Oh, it's got Menace? Oh my gosh. Oh, and then I have to pay 7 life? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean... Yeah, if you ever get to untap, like this card is just the card that will just completely get you back into the game, so... Yeah, see, but the thing is, games like this, like, it'll happen. I'm more upset when I mess up. I've said this in the past too. In games like this, I just felt like I was firmly ahead. I felt like I sequenced my spells reasonably well. And my opponent just out-rared me. And I don't think I'll be able to beat Sire of 7 Deaths. But I guess I'll try. Alright. Yeah, I can't beat this card. They're gonna hit me again. It's got First Strike, Death Touch, Trample. You know what I mean. It's Ground Slayer Angel. Ground Slayer Angel. That card is ridiculous. Alright. Okay, so all it took is some Mana Screw, a Vivian Reed, Day of Judgment, and Sire of 7 Deaths to prevent us from getting our trophy. But you know what? You know what? That's okay. I actually thought our deck played out really, really well. Really did enjoy it. Obviously, the biggest weakness for our deck, as you can see, is the low end of the mana curve here. We only had these 2 1-drops and these 2-drops. if I just had maybe another Dwinnen's Elite, maybe another Wary Thespian, I would feel a lot better about this over maybe like a Light Shell Duo and maybe a Needle Tooth pack, something along those lines. If I just had less of these and a couple of extra 2-drops, I think this deck is completely fine. We had some interaction, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We had the Micromancer, which still found a way to be good in a blue-green deck, thanks to Bushwhack. Shout out to Bushwhack. And then we had the Scrawling Crawler, which actually did a decent amount of work. Like I said, I do like this card a decent amount. And then, of course, Curator of Destinies at the top end of the mana curve. And then if the games ever went long, we just kind of took over because we had cards like the Snare Spinner and the Spectral Sailor to be able to kind of pull ahead on cards. So thought this was solid. I don't know how good Simic is necessarily, but it just felt like a pretty reasonable version of it. Even though it felt like we were struggling for the vast majority of the draft, we still were able to put together a functional deck that was able to pick up 6 wins and lost back-to-back win-and-ins. But you know what? I'll accept those losses. Now, if it happens every draft, of course, it kind of wears on you. But those losses happen to everybody. And just know that just control what you can. There's so many different places where you can improve your win percentage in Magic. Don't worry about the times where you get mana screwed, or don't worry about the times where your opponents play a bomb, because you're going to do the same thing to them. I slammed Curator of Destinies and my opponents conceded as well, right? I played turn 1 Llanowar Elves into turn 2 Scrawling Crawler to have it run away with the game as well. So just know that that happens and focus on draft, finding the right colors, identify your lane, draft a decent mana curve, make sure you have good interaction. And if you kind of follow those, I don't even know, with that 4 or 5 steps, you will drastically improve your win rate if you find that you've been struggling in this format. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, as I really do appreciate it. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button for more daily videos just like this. If you've enjoyed all of this content and wanted to support the channel in another way, my Patreon is the best way to do so. That is patreon.com/paulcheon. Additionally, check out tcgplayer.com for all your TCG singles and sealed product needs. You want to pick up that booster box just to crack a bunch of packs. You want to pick up some singles for your F&M deck or your Commander deck or any deck. Make sure you check out tcgplayer.com and click that affiliate link in the description below. Additionally, check out heavyplay.com for top-of-the-line deck boxes, playmats, sleeves, dice boxes, and more. They are the place to go to for premium Magic the Gathering supplies. Heavyplay.com/paulcheon will get you 10% off your first order. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you tomorrow.